Good morning, students. This is the third video of the series. In first and second videos, we discussed about definition of series, convergence of series, and Cauchy criterion for series, and some methods to find the given series is convergent or not. In this video also, we discussed some methods to verify the given series is convergent or not. See, yesterday we discussed which methods we discussed. First one is geometric series. If the given series is in geometric form, for r less than 1, the series is convergent, r greater than 1, the series is divergent, and also for r equals to 1 also, the given series is divergent. This is the condition for geometric series. Second one is comparison series. Comparison test. Here we take two series. If one series is convergent and greater than another series, then automatically other series also convergent. Otherwise divergent. Next, P series test. The given series of the form 1 by summation 1 by n power p. If the given series is the form summation 1 by n power p, where p greater than 1 is 1, then the series is convergent. If p less than 1, the series is divergent. These are the three methods to find the given series is convergent or not. Yesterday in previous video we discussed it. In this video we discussed about some more methods. See, what is the first method? Root test. By using root test we find the given series. We can find the given series is convergent or not. See, let us what is the series here? Summation a and b a series. And let alpha equals to limit supremum of mod a n whole power 1 by n. This is the value of alpha. What is alpha here? Alpha is limit value. Here we find the limit value of supremum of a n power 1 by n. What is the series here? Summation a n is the series. But we find the limit value of a n whole power 1 n. The given series is a power n, but we take a n whole power 1 by n and find that limit. What is the value of that limit? Alpha is the value of limit. See, what is the conditions here? If alpha less than 1, what we say? The given series is convergent absolutely. If alpha is greater than 1, the given series is diverges. If alpha equals to 1, we can't say the given series is convergent or divergent. That means test fail. Gives no information. Here the series is summation a n, but we take a n power 1 by n and find that limit. What is the value of limit a n whole power 1 by n is alpha. If the value of alpha is less than 1, what we say? The given series is convergent absolutely. If the value of alpha greater than 1, we say the given series is divergent. If alpha equals to 1, we can't say is the given series is convergent or divergent. See, proof of this. Proof, see here. Given alpha equals to limit supremum of a n whole power n. The value of alpha is already given. So, I take alpha equals to limit supremum of a n whole power n. Next. Case 1. Suppose alpha is less than 1. What we have to show here? The given series is convergent. See. Here I take alpha is greater than less than 1. I take alpha is less than 1. Choose epsilon greater than 0. Already we know what is epsilon. Epsilon is very small value, but greater than 0, positive value. Where epsilon is positive value and very small positive value. Now I add this epsilon to this alpha value. Now what we get? Alpha plus epsilon. But the value of alpha plus epsilon is also less than 1. That implies where epsilon is very negligible value. After adding epsilon to alpha, the value of alpha plus epsilon is also less than 1. Okay? See. What we have? What is the value of alpha? Already given in statement. What is the value of alpha? Limit supremum of a n whole power n. Here I let supremum of a n whole power n is equal to Vn. let supremum of an whole power 1 by n is Vn. So what is the value of alpha now? Alpha equals to limit. What we write here, instead of suprema of a power n by n, I write Vn. Why? Here we let Vn equals to suprema of an 1 by whole power 1 by n. So I write alpha equals to limit. Instead of suprema of an whole power n, I write Vn. So value of alpha is limit n tends to infinity Vn. Okay. Just I write Vn just for instead of supremum of an whole power n. That's it. For epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number capital N such that n greater than capital N, that implies what is the meaning of this? Alpha equals to limit n tends to infinity Vn means what is the definition here? See here, what is the definition? It shows the limits definition. From this is the value of limit value of Vn. What is the limit value of Vn here? Alpha is the limit value of Vn. So I write limit definition here. What is the limit definition? For given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number or a number capital N such that n greater than n mod. What is the limit definition? Sn minus s less than epsilon, where Sn is a sequence and s is the limit value. What we write? Limit n tends to infinity Sn equals to s, where here also compare these two. By limit definition we write mod Sn minus s less than epsilon, that implies limit Sn equals to s. Here also what is limit? Here also limit. Instead of Sn we write here Vn, and limit, what is the limit value here? Alpha. So we write what we write here? Sn minus s, that means Vn minus alpha less than epsilon. Is it clear? By limit definition we write Sn minus s less than epsilon, that implies limit n tends to infinity Sn equals to s. Similarly, what we get here? Limit n tends to infinity Vn equals to s, that implies where Sn equals to Vn and s equals to alpha. So we write mod Vn minus alpha less than epsilon. See here, by limit definition we write for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number capital N such that n greater than capital N, Vn minus alpha less than epsilon. Okay, is it clear? This is the, by the limit definition we write what we write here? Mod Vn minus alpha less than epsilon. Okay, next mod Vn minus epsilon less than mod Vn minus alpha less than epsilon means the value of Vn lies between alpha minus epsilon and alpha plus epsilon. So I write that implies alpha minus epsilon less than Vn less than alpha plus epsilon. See here, I give you example here. If mod x minus 2 less than 3, what is the value of mod x minus 2? Less than 3. Say what is the possible values? Put x equals to 5. What we get here? 5 minus 2, that means 3. 3 less than 3 means no, the value of x equals to 5 is wrong. Next I take x equals to 4. What is the value of x minus 2? 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 means 2. 2 less than 3. Okay. Here I take mod x minus 2 less than 3. What are the possible values? Put 5x equals to 5. What we get here? 3. 3 less than 3 is wrong. So x is equal to 5 is wrong. X equals to 4. What we get? 4 minus 2, that means 2. 2 less than 3. So 4 is the one of the value of x. Put x equals to 3. 3 minus 2, that means 1. 1 less than 3. So x equals to 3 is also possible value. Put x equals to 2. That means 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. 0 less than 3. So x equals to 2 also possible value. X equals to 1. 1 minus 2 minus 1. Mod minus 1 means plus 1. 1 less than 3. X equals to 1. X equals to 0. For x equals to 0, what we get? 0 minus 2. That means minus 2. Mod minus 2 means 2. 2 less than 3. It's also possible value. Now let x equals to minus 1. What is the value of minus 1 minus 2? Minus 1 minus 2. It means minus 3. Mod minus 3 is 3. 3 less than 3. So minus 1 is not the value. So what are the possible values? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 only. These 5 values lies between which values? Minus 1 and 5. So I write minus 1 less than or less than, sorry, x less than 5. Is it clear or not? First I take x minus 2 less than 3. What are the possible values? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 only. The values 0, 1, 2, 3 lies between minus 1 and 5. So I write the value of x lies between minus 1 and 5. How can you find? I write here x minus 2 less than 3. I write 2 minus 3 less than x less than 2 plus 3. Is both are same or not? 2 minus 3 means minus 1, x, 2 plus 3 means 5. If mod x minus 2 less than 3, then what is the value of x? 2 minus 3 less than x less than 2 plus 3. Similarly, what we have here? Vn minus alpha less than epsilon. That means where alpha, we put alpha in 2 place and epsilon in 3 place. What we get? Alpha minus epsilon less than Vn less than alpha plus epsilon. Is it clear or not? If mod x minus 2 less than 3 means the value of x lies between 2 minus 3 and 2 plus 3. Similarly, mod Vn minus alpha less than epsilon, then value of Vn lies between alpha minus epsilon and alpha plus epsilon. So I write, what you write here? Alpha minus epsilon less than Vn less than alpha plus epsilon. But what is Vn? See, what is Vn? Supremum of an whole power n is the value of Vn. So I write alpha minus epsilon. Vn means supremum of an whole power n and alpha plus epsilon. That means, that implies alpha minus epsilon less than supremum of an whole power n less than alpha plus epsilon. Okay, are you understand? First I take alpha less than 1. This is the first condition. After that I add epsilon. After adding epsilon, the value of alpha plus epsilon is also less than 1. Now supremum of an whole power 1 by is in Vn. So what we have here, alpha equals to limit n tends to infinity Vn. By limit definition, I write mod Vn minus alpha less than epsilon. If mod Vn minus alpha less than epsilon, then the value of Vn lies between alpha minus epsilon and alpha plus epsilon. Again I write the value of Vn here. So what we have here, alpha minus epsilon less than supremum of an whole power n less than alpha plus epsilon. Now I take this part only, not alpha minus epsilon. I will take only supremum of an whole power n less than alpha plus epsilon. See here. Now I take supremum of an whole power 1 by n is less than alpha plus epsilon. Supremum means large value. Okay. That implies I take only mod an less than whole 1 by n less than mod an whole power 1 by n less than alpha plus epsilon. Now rising powers on both sides with n. What is the value of an whole power 1 by n whole power n alpha plus epsilon n? N cancel. What we get here? Only mod n. Here we get alpha plus epsilon whole power n. So here we have two series, summation an and summation alpha plus epsilon whole power n. But already we have alpha plus epsilon is less than 1 value. By geometric series, what is geometric series? Summation a into r power n is the geometric series. Here also we have summation alpha plus epsilon whole power n. I take here 1 into. So where a equals to 1 and r equals to alpha plus epsilon. What is alpha plus epsilon? Alpha plus epsilon is less than 1. That implies r is less than 1. In a geometric series, if r less than 1, what is the meaning of that? The given series is convergent. So if by geometric series, summation alpha plus epsilon whole power n is convergent. By comparison test, there are two series. First I find summation alpha plus epsilon whole power n is convergent or not. Alpha plus epsilon value is 1, less than 1. So it is convergent series by geometric series. If the small series, the mod an less than alpha plus epsilon whole power n means an is smaller series and alpha plus epsilon is large series. What we get here, the larger series is convergent, then automatically small series also convergent by comparison test. See, by comparison test from 2 mod summation mod an also convergence. Therefore summation an is convergent absolutely if alpha less than 1. This is the first condition. Next I take second condition. What is that condition? If alpha greater than 1. What is alpha? See, what is alpha here? Alpha is the limit value of the given series. What is the given series? Summation an. See, alpha equals to limit of supremum of an whole power n. Alpha is the limit value of the given series. Now here I take alpha greater than 1. That implies limit value is greater than 1. So, see here. So, mod that implies supremum of limit supremum of an whole power n is given, already given, equals to alpha. Here alpha is greater than 1. That implies an whole power n is greater than 1. Is it clear? Already given what is alpha equals to limit supremum of an whole power 1 by n. But here I take alpha greater than 1. That implies limit supremum of an 1 by n also greater than 1. That implies an whole power 1 by n is greater than 1. Now raising both sides n power, what we get here? Whole power n, 1 power n. n cancel, mod an. Here also 1 power n. 1 power n means 1. Mod an is greater than 1. Mod an means mod an minus 0 is greater than 1. By the limit definition, if the value of limit is greater than 1, it is diverges. Greater than 1 means increasing up to plus infinity. The limit of this series is plus infinity. So, it is divergent series. Mod an means is it minus infinity or plus infinity. So, it is divergent. For alpha greater than 1, the given series is diverges. The first case is alpha less than 1. Second one is alpha greater than 1. Now, we test at alpha equals to 1. For this, first we check 2 problems. See here. First we take 2 problems. What are the series here? Summation 1 by n and summation 1 by n. We take 2 series. First I take summation 1 by n. This is our series, summation an. Then what is the value of alpha? Limit supremum of mod an whole power 1 by n. What is an here? 1 by n is the an. So I write limit supremum of an whole power n. This is the value of alpha. What is an here? Summation 1 by n is the an here. So I write limit supremum of 1 by n whole power n. What is the limit n tends to infinity? 1 by n whole power 1 by n. First I put infinity in power. What we get here? 1 by infinity means 1 by infinity means 0. Anything power 0 is the value is 1. So we get here 1. See, first I put infinity in power form. 1 by infinity, that means 0. Anything power 0 is 1. So the value of alpha equals to 1. Summation 1 by n, if our series is summation 1 by n, we find that limit. What we get here? Alpha equals to 1. By p-test, did you remember the p-test? What is p-test? The given series of the form 1 by n power p. If p less than 1 or equals to 1, the given series is divergent. If p equals to 1 or less than 1, the given series is divergent. Here also we apply p-test. By p-test, summation 1 by n is divergent. That means if alpha equals to 1, then automatically the given series is divergent. This is one result. Now I take another example. Summation 1 by n square. Here also, now first I find limit alpha equals to limit n tends to infinity an whole power n by root test. First I found limit by root test. What is root test? Alpha equals to limit supremum of an whole power 1 by n. What is an here? 1 by n square. So I write limit 1 by n square whole power n. Then 1 power 1 by n means 1. N square power 1 by n means n power 2 by n. First I put infinity in power. So I get 2 by infinity, that means 0. So this here also we get alpha equals to 1. But by p test, what is the value of p in 1 by n square? P equals to 2, greater than 1. That implies it is convergent. So the limit value alpha equals to 1, we have 1 by n square is convergent series. In first example, for the limit value alpha equals to 1, the series is divergent. In both cases, we get limit alpha equals to 1. But another test, we get this is divergent and this is convergent series. So we can't say, if the limit value is 1, we can't say the given series is convergent or divergent by using this test. What is this test? Root test. Okay, is it clear or not? Last line, see last line. Here alpha equals to 1 gives no information about the series. In root test, if alpha is less than 1, we say the given series is convergent, and if alpha greater than 1, the given series is divergent. If the value of alpha is 1, we can't say the given series is convergent or divergent. Just simply we write the test fails. What is the value of alpha here? Limit of the an whole power n. This is the root test formula. Okay, see here I do some examples. First one is, see what is the first series? Summation n by 3 power n. By root test, what we find here? We find the limit of the given series. Alpha equals to limit supremum of an whole power n. This is the formula of root test. Limit means limit n tends to infinity. What is an here? N by 3 power n, whole power 1 by n. Okay, see. This is the formula of root test. Limit n tends to infinity. What is an here? N by 3 power n whole power n. That implies limit n tends to infinity. N power 1 by n and 3 power n whole power 1 by n. 3 power n whole power 1 by n. Where n cancelled. What is the denominator here? 3. And I put infinity in power. So I get 1 by infinity. That means 0. So n power 0 is 1. So I get 1 is an numerator and 3 as denominator. What is the value of 1 by 3? Less than 1. If alpha is less than 1, what we write? The given series is convergent series. Here also same model. What is the series here? N power 4 by 2 power n. Let an equals to n power 4 by 2 power n. By root test, alpha equals to limit n tends to infinity an whole power n. That means n power 4 by 2 power n whole power 1 by n. Next, limit n tends to infinity n power. What is n power 4 whole power 1 by n? N power 4 by n. What is denominator? 2 power n whole power n, where n cancelled. In numerator, put n equals to infinity in power form. What we get? N power 0. That means 1 in numerator and denominator is 2. Again, the value of alpha is 1 by 2 is less than 1. So, this series also convergent series. Next, another example. What is the series here? N square by 3 power n. N square by 3 power n. Now, I write limit n alpha equals to limit n tends to infinity n square by 3 power n whole power 1 by n. What we get here? N square power 1 by n means n power 2 by n. 3 power n whole power n means 3 power n whole power n. N cancel. Here limit n tends to infinity we have. So limit n tends to infinity n power 2 by n by 3. First I put infinity in power. So 2 by infinity means 0. N power 0 means 1. What is the value of alpha here? 1 by 3 is less than 1. So the given series is convergent. Next, see here. Similarly, you do these problems. What is the value series here? 3 power n by n square. 3 power n by n square. Limit n tends to infinity. 3 power n by n square whole power 1 by n. Okay. What we get? Limit n tends to infinity. 3 power n whole power 1 by n means 3. N cancel. What we get in denominator? N power 2 by n. First I put infinity in denominator power. N power 2 by infinity. That means n power 0. That means 1. So the value of limit is 3 by n. That implies 3. Alpha equals 3 greater than 1. So the given series is divergent. Similarly here. n cube by 3 power n, and that means whole power 1 by n. We write what we get, n power 3 by n by 3. First I put n 15 power, so denominator is 1 and denominator 1 by 3, so less than 1, it is convergent series, it is divergent series. Next, write whole power 1 by n. N power 1 by n means 1, 2 power n whole power n means 2, less than 1, so it is also convergent. So this is convergent, sorry, divergent, this is convergent, this is also convergent. Next, this is, now see, what is the series here? 2 summation 2 plus cos n by 3n. Yes, in previous video already we did a problem with cos square. What is the value of cos in trigonometry? The value of cos n is cos x always lies between -1 less than or equal to cos x less than or equal to 1. Here I take the equality cos x 1 minus 1 less than or equal to cos x less than or equal to 1. Already we know, but I take only these equality. What is that? Cos x less than or equal to 1. So see here. But we know cos x less than or equal to 1. But in this function cos n we have. So I write cos n less than or equal to 1. Cos n less than or equal to 1. Now I add 2 on both sides. What we get? 2 plus cos n less than or equal to 1 plus 2. First I take cos n less than or equal to 1. Now I add 2 on both sides. What we get? 2 plus cos n is less than or equal to 1 plus 2 means 3. Now I divide with 3 power n on both sides. So I get 2 plus cos n by 3n less than or equal to 3 by 3 power n. Is it clear or not? First I take cos n value. After that I add 2 on both sides. What we get? 2 plus cos n less than or equal to 3. Now I divide with 3 power n on both sides. So 2 plus cos n by 3n less than or equal to 3 by 3 power n. Here I have 2 series. What are they? 2 plus cos n by 3n is our given series, and there is another series 3 by 3 power n. Now I find the series 3 by 3 power n is divergent or convergent. Which test we used here? Same, root test. See, now I take bn equals to, this is the another series, so I let bn equals to summation 3 by 3 power n. By root test, what we write here? Limit bn whole power n. What is the limit? N tends to infinity. Bn means 3 by 3 power n and whole power 1 by n. 3 by 3 power n whole power 1 by n. That implies what we have? 3 power 1 by n by 3 power n whole power 1 by n. N cancel. And I put n equals to infinity. In numerator we got 1 and denominator is 3. So what is the value here? What we value? What is the value? 1 by 3. 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is less than 1. So the series summation bn is convergent. If the given series from 1, which series is smaller and which series big? 3 by 3 power n is big series, larger series, and 2 plus cos n is smaller than this series. If the larger series is convergent by comparison test, automatically what we write here? The given series also convergent. See here, that implies last line from 1 summation an also convergent by comparison test. Okay, next, now see the last line. See what is the limit value here? 1 by 3 less than 1. So summation bn is convergent. That implies from 1, what is 1? 2 plus cos n by 3 power n less than or equal to bn. By comparison test, what we write here? Summation an is also convergent. This is the examples of root test. The root test proof is also most important. These two tests are most important. First one is root test and second one is ratio test. These are two most important tests. See, ratio test. A series summation an of non-zero terms. When we say converges absolutely, if limit supremum of an plus 1 by an is less than 1. What is our series here? Summation an is our given series. But we find the limit value of an plus 1 by an. Here we have the series an only, but we write an plus 1 also another series, and we find the an plus 1 by an value and find the limit of this fraction an plus 1 by an value. If limit of an plus 1 by an is less than 1, what we say? The given series is convergence. If the limit an plus 1 by an is greater than 1, we say the given series is divergent. By similar as root test, here also we write if the limit value is 1, the test is give no information, that means test fails. In root test and ratio test, we can find the limit, we can find the given series is convergent or divergent at alpha less than 1, alpha greater than 1 only. If alpha equals to 1, we can't say the given series is convergent or divergent in both tests. So what we write here? For alpha, the limit value, if limit equals to 1, we say the given test is no information. Okay. See, the given series is an, but we find an plus 1 by an value and find the limit of that value. If limit value of an plus 1 by an is less than 1, we say convergent series. If limit of an plus 1 by an is greater than 1, we say the given series is divergent. If the limit value is 1, we say there is no information. See, first let alpha equals to limit supremum of an whole power 1 by n. What is alpha? Limit of the given series an whole power 1 by n by root test. In root test, the value of alpha already given, but here we take alpha equals to limit supremum of an whole power 1 by n. In first unit, first topic sequences, we learned this. See here. In first unit, what is first unit? Sequences, series, subsequence. These are all topics of first unit. What is the first unit? First topic is sequences. In sequences, we learned about this relation. What is the relation here? Equality. See here, what is that? Limit infimum of mod an plus 1 by an less than or equal to limit infimum of mod an whole power 1 by n less than or equal to limit supremum of mod an whole power 1 by n is less than or equal to limit supremum of an plus 1 by an whole power 1 by n. This is the this equality between an whole power 1 by n and an plus 1 by an whole power 1 by n. Infimum means smaller value, supremum is large value. Infimum means lower bound and supremum means upper bound. The series an whole power 1 by n, infimum and supremum lies between the values of infimum and supremum of limit an plus 1 by an whole power 1 by n. This is the condition of supremum and infimum of these two series. Okay. Now we know that the relation between limit infimum and supremum of these two series. Now I write limit supremum of an 1 by n as alpha in this inequality. So what we get here? See, what is the inequality here? See here, limit infimum of an plus 1 by an, limit infimum of an whole power 1 by n. What we write here? Limit supremum of an 1 by n as alpha and less than limit supremum of an 1 plus 1 by an. Now I take only first and last values, and middle how many values we have? Infimum value and supremum value. I take only supremum value, that is alpha. See here. Now I take limit infimum and supremum of an plus 1 by an and an plus 1 by an, and first and last values. In middle we have limit supremum of an whole power n and limit infimum of an whole power n. But I take only limit supremum of an whole power n. That means alpha. So here I write limit infimum of an plus 1 by an less than or equal to alpha less than or equal to limit supremum of an plus 1 by n. This is equation number 1. Is it clear or not? See, first I let alpha equals to limit supremum of an 1 by n. Okay. This is the inequality between an plus 1 by an and an whole power 1 by n. Now I take only first and last term, and I did not take infimum value, I take only supremum value. What is supremum here? Alpha is the supremum. So I write first and last value and alpha. Okay. First condition. What is the first condition? If limit supremum of an plus 1 by n is less than 1, what we have to show here? It is converges. See here. If limit, see here, if it limit supremum of an plus 1 by n is less than 1, we have to show it is convergent. So I take a limit supremum of an plus 1 by n is less than 1. That implies from 1, alpha less than or equal to, what is the value of this one? Less than 1. So I get alpha less than 1. Is it clear or not? Here I take these two values only. What is the value is here? Alpha less than or equal to limit supremum of an plus an. But here I take limit supremum of an plus 1 is less than 1. So I write less than 1 also. Now I take first and last. What we get? Alpha is less than 1. Alpha less than 1 means by root test it is convergent. Okay. Alpha is the limit value of supremum of an whole power 1 by n. Okay. By root test, if alpha less than 1, what we say? It is convergent. Similarly, here also alpha is the value of limit supremum of an whole power 1 by n. See, we let here alpha is the limit supremum of an whole power n. Here I take supremum of an plus 1 by n is less than 1. So automatically what is the value of alpha? Alpha is also a less than 1. So I write it is convergent. Similarly, next I take alpha limit infimum of an plus 1 by n is greater than 1. Now what I here? 1 less than or equal to alpha. That means alpha is greater than 1. If alpha is greater than 1, by root test, what we write? Alpha summation an is divergent. It's very simple proof. We have to remember this inequality here only. By root, the value of alpha is limit supremum of an whole power n. Now again, next we write this inequality. After that we take first and last values and alpha. First I take right side inequality and let this is less than 1. That implies alpha less than 1. By root test it is convergent. Now I take left side inequality and let this is greater than 1. Automatically alpha greater than 1, it is divergent. Now we find if for alpha equals to 1, is it series convergent or divergent or test fails. See, here also I take same examples. Summation 1 by n and summation 1 by n square. But here we have to find the value of limit an plus 1 by n. What is the formula of ratio test? Every time we let the given series is an and we find the value of limit an plus an. Okay, this is the formula of ratio test. What is the formula of ratio test? We find limit of an plus 1 by an. If it is less than 1, we say convergent. If it is greater than 1, we say divergent. So here also I check summation 1 by n is convergent or divergent by using ratio test. What is ratio test? We find limit of an plus 1 by an. First I let an equals to 1 by n. What is an here? An equals to 1 by n. Here, what is value of an plus 1? In 1 by n, we let 1 by an. If an plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1, we put n plus 1 in n place. Okay, is it clear or not? An is 1 by n. Now I take n plus 1. That means put n plus 1 in n's place. So what is the series here? N plus 1. Now I find the value of an plus 1 by an. What is an plus 1? 1 by n plus 1. What is an? 1 by n. Okay, is it clear? Just write here summation 1 by summation an plus 1 equals to 1 by n plus 1. Okay, if an is 1 by n, then an plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1. Just put n equals to n plus 1. Say limit an plus 1 by an means 1 by n plus 1 by 1 by n. Now the fractions are what we get here? 1 by n plus 1. What is the denominator here? 1 by n. It is reversed. That means n by 1. So I get n by n plus 1. Now I take n common in numerator and denominator. If you take n common, we have 1. And denominator we take n common. What we have here? 1 plus 1 by n cancel. Now put n equals to infinity. 1 by 1 plus 1 by infinity. So value of alpha is 1. This is the formula of ratio test. The first we let given series is an, and then we write value of an plus 1, and we find the limit of an plus 1 by an. What we get here? 1. But p test, what we know, summation an is divergent. So therefore we write for alpha equals to 1, the given series is divergent. Next I take, see here, for alpha equals to 1, summation an is divergent by p series test. Next I take summation 1 by n square. Let summation 1 by n square is summation an. What is an plus 1? Put n plus 1 in n's place. So I like summation an plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1 square. Now I find the value of limit an plus 1 by an. That implies 1 by n plus 1 whole square by 1 by n square. What is the value of 1 by n plus 1 by 1 by n square? N square by n plus 1 whole square. Okay. Now take n square is common. N square cancel. Put n equals to infinity. So I will get, here also we have alpha equals to 1. But p test, 1 by n square is a convergent series. That means, last line, see last line. That means for alpha equals to 1 does not guarantee the given series is either convergent or divergent. So we write test failed. Okay. Are you understand? See. Ratio test is very simple test. The given series, let the given series is an, and we find an plus 1 by an value, limit value of an plus 1 by an. If less than 1, we write convergent, greater than 1 divergent. Equals to 1, we can't say convergent or divergent. We write just simply test fail. For finding this ratio test, first we let alpha equals to limit supremum of an whole power n, and write with this inequality, and take first and last values and alpha. Now I take only RHS inequality. Let supremum of an plus 1 by is less than 1. Then automatically alpha less than 1. Alpha means by root test it is convergent. Similarly we take left inequality. Let infimum of an plus 1 is greater than 1. That implies alpha greater than 1. By root test it is also divergent. For at alpha equals to 1, we have two types of series. If one series is divergent, another series is convergent, but both the values, limit value is 1. So we can't say the given series convergent or divergent at alpha equals to 1. This is the ratio test. The root test and ratio test are the most important tests, and we have so many problems based on these two tests. Okay, see here. See here. Summation n by n square plus 3. This is our series. We have to find this is convergent or divergent. Let the given series is an. What is an plus 1? Just put n plus 1 in n's place. So we get n plus 1, and I write n square as n plus 1 whole square plus 3. Now I find the limit of an plus 1 by an. That implies n plus 1 by n plus 1 whole square plus 3 by n by n square plus 3. What we get here? N by n plus 1 whole square 3 into the denominator is reversible. So n square plus 3 by n. Now I take n square n and all terms in common. After cancelling all n square n terms, now I put n equals to infinity. So I get the value is 1. So if alpha equals to 1, what we say? We can't say the given series is convergent or divergent. So I use, so no information about the convergence of given series. So I take another method. See what is the series here? N by n square plus 3. See, n by n square plus 3 the our given series. Now I take value of n square plus 3. Is n square plus 3 is less than or equal to n square plus 3n whole square? Is it right or not? N square plus 3 is always less than or equal to n square plus 3n square. N square, same. 3 is which one is big, 3 or 3n square? 3n square is big, so we write n square plus 3 is less than or equal to n square plus 3n square. What is the value of n square plus 3n square? So I write n square plus 3 is less than or equal to 4n square. What is the actual series? We have n by n square plus 3. What is our series? N by n square plus 3. See, if n square plus 3 less than or equal to 4n square, what is the value of 1 by n square plus 3? Automatically the relation changed. If it is less than or equal to, now it becomes greater than or equal to. Now I put n on both sides. So n by n square plus 3 is greater than or equal to n by 4n square. Okay, is it clear? Here we have n square plus 3 less than or equal to 4n square. Now I take these two values in denominator. So automatically the relation changed. Less than or equal to changed as greater than or equal to. Now I take n on numerator on both sides. So n by n square plus 3 is greater than n by 4n square. Now in left RHS n cancel. We have only 1 by 4n. See here, n by n square plus 3 greater than or equal to 1 by 4n. Now I check, is 1 by 4n convergent or divergent? Tell me, by P series test, what is P here? We have 1 by 4n. What is the power of n? 1. So value of P equals to 1. If P equals to 1, by P series test, what we say? It is divergent. So it is divergent. Compare these two terms. Which is small? This is small series and it is divergent. If small series is divergent, then automatically the big series also divergent. By comparison test, the series also divergent. Okay. In next video I will explain some more problems. Thank you.